Okay, Hare Krishna, welcome to this evening Self-Excellence Sunday session. Okay. Oh, it's pretty bright here. It's too bright. Maybe the sun is rising. So we'll start with our presentation. We have a drama also afterwards. So I'll just be fast. We'll just discuss something general today. But it's always very important. Okay, so here we are. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adbhuta Shri Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so Search for Happiness, this is how this session is entitled, the practical Vedic solutions to problems of life. We see that science and technology offer many unsatisfactory, superficial, stopgap solutions to problems of life. We still didn't resolve many things. But being superior to animals, humans can inquire about the root cause of all problems and the ultimate goal of life. So Vedic wisdom teaches the art of putting a full stop to all problems by aligning with laws of nature and God. So there's a lot of content here in these few sentences. So this is what we're going to be exploring during this presentation. So what are some problems of life, just to remind us? Of course, we don't have to be reminded. We face it every moment practically. Some trouble is there. But you can pick any from presented here. If you can read some of those, there's quite a lot. A lot of problems that we face in life, yeah. All kinds of crises, frustrations, disorders, pains, fears, traumas, of course. So, practical Vedic solutions to the problems of life. Because it's not just, very often we point to certain things, that's important also, because many times we miss it, we don't even recognize. But more important than that is how to practically deal with it. So we have three subjects today. Animals, we as humans don't waste this special opportunity. Then temporary solutions, science, technology and medicine. And permanent solution, Vedic wisdom. Okay. So we find happiness, we find some satisfaction. We do the various kinds of things in life. Yeah. Like now cricket is going on, it's like different sports, playing different kind of games and stuff like that. So we find some happiness, we find some satisfaction. There's always something that preoccupies the mind, something that we identify, something that kind of excites us. And we do various other things also. That's funny, I can relate to all of those because my brother, I was there a few months ago. Again, before when he was younger, he had some heavy motorbike. I don't know which one, but some heavy stuff. For racing. I don't know what it is. I really can't. I saw it, but I didn't care what it was. So I didn't see what's the brand. So he had earlier something. Now again he bought it. He's alerting me. I just, what are you gonna do on it? It's a crazy. It's such a gambling, driving fast bikes. Of course, in Europe roads are better. words. And then once also earlier he was jumping from the plane, you know, with his parachute, and then he bumped his backside and he was in trouble for a few weeks. You know. But that's, yeah, people do all kinds of, they'll do anything, and just to get some adrenaline rush, as of whatever possible, just to find some excitement in this boring, meaningless existence. You know. And of course they'll go for different parties, they go for different clubs, to different concerts, to all kinds of things. And then they will take different kinds of intoxicants also, to try to explore the world, staying in one place, you know. It's like so they're ready to do all kinds of stuff. And then of course there is fashion. That's a little bit different type of happiness that people find in. It's like it's a whole universe of what is going on in the name of the fashion. And then they'll do, you know, it's amazing what you can do with your head, you know. It's really interesting. And this is all here, you know, what you can do with it. And how much time you can waste on that. It's like amazing. That's why we keep our life very simple. Just don't bother too much. And of course there are some other, you know, a little bit more additional. I mean, you can find unlimited. Watermelon. You can cut watermelon and keep it on top also. Anyway, so what people won't do? Yeah, that's the question. All kinds of things. Find happiness. So happiness means essentially improved facilities for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are said to be general propensities that we have in life. These are the urges. These are the needs. We all have to do that. Yeah. So to some extent, it's necessary. Body also needs some nourishment like this. Some requirements are there. But animals also find happiness in the same. You know, they also eat. They're also sleeping. They're mating. They're defending. They're doing practically the same thing. They also have friends. They have fun. They have family life. No. So essentially eating, sleeping, mating and defending, it's common in both in humans and the animals. So now if you do a little bit practical analysis of abilities and qualities of different animals or birds, you can see what is the special feature of, let's say, eagle? Eyes, what else? Talons, okay, something. Can fly. It's pretty free, no? It's just, you know, there are different kinds of qualities you can find. You know, of course, he can spot from enormous height. He can spot what's going on down on the ground. That's really remarkable. Okay, what about horse? Speed is not so fast. It's fast, but it's not strength. Yeah, it's quite strong, but okay. But one thing you won't guess. It's a very developed sense of what? Smell. Yeah, it's interesting. Horses smell very well. Dogs also, but dogs also have certain abilities. Of course, they have quite a number of different other qualities. No. They can what? What? Anyway, they can see at night like any carnivore. That's another thing. Hati. That is the Hati Mere Sati. No. So it's very powerful. Right? It's very intelligent. Elephants are also very, very intelligent.
Lower frequency.
Elephants.
Yes.
Good appetite.
Good appetite. Yeah, you can eat 200 kgs of something. All your supplies will be finished in one day. Then the bear, polar bear. Sleeping, yeah, of course, he's very good in that. He's very fast. He's actually maybe faster than horse always. He's very fast. He can run like anything. Okay, and some birds, usually what birds do? Fly, yeah. They make a lot of mess in the place where they stay, that's what birds do. Now that's singing, Baba, that's birds usually, when you say birds, it's supposed to sing, no? Otherwise, what kind of bird is that? Okay, what about human beings?
All of them.
Huh?
All of this.
All of this, wrong. That's a wrong answer. Yes.
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Well, as I said, elephant also has pretty good intelligence.
Combination of all.
Combination, well, some bad combinations are there also.
Yes. Imagination.
Okay, you'll find out. You'll
Consciousness.
find out. Consciousness. All these other creatures are also conscious. Okay, let's see. So eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Animals have rational power and intelligence. Animals are better than human beings. So they also have the same rational power and intelligence, but they're better in some certain things than humans. No. Let's say you want to run. Who's going to win?
Animals.
Yeah, cheetah. Cheetah's much faster. So is human being only a two-legged, sophisticated, deluxe edition of animals? What do you think? Because basically they do the same things. And some things a little better, a little less. Or somehow or other is still a man somewhat superior to animals. Because nowadays, very often, in many things and in many ways, there's not much difference. So in spite of all advancement, you may say, we are very advanced, no? But we have this technology and everything else that animals don't. But unfortunately, modern day humans are what? They're satisfied, full of anxiety, stressed, depressed, and above all unhappy. We have all these different kinds of facilities, like we said earlier. Happiness means improved, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They're doing things in more sophisticated way, but still, they're unhappy. So technological advancement helps man enjoy better luxuries for better eating, sleeping, mating, defending, without offering any ultimate aim of life. So this is sophisticated animal civilization. It's all still pretty gross. It's still pretty basic, bodily. There's nothing greater than that. So this is the paradox of our time. So if you can read some of those, we've learned how to make a living, but not a life. We've added years to life, not life to years. We've been all the way to the moon and back, but have trouble crossing the street to meet a new neighbor. So more convenience, less time, taller buildings, shorter tempers, wider freeways, narrower viewpoints, bigger houses, smaller families. Well, in Mumbai it's difficult to get a bigger house, but anyway. So you can read some of this. And you work in a job you hate to buy stuff that you don't need, consumerism, consuming society, to impress people that you don't like. That's an important one. So life, it makes you think. So what did Albert Einstein said? It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Yeah, we are technologically advanced, but what about, we have that funny t-shirt you see in Mumbai, being human, What does that mean? So, the world's largest jailer, I can see that with only 5% of the world's population, the US has more than 20% of the world's prison population. 500 decrease over the past 30 years. Over 11 million people cycle through local jails each year. So if let's take a United States as some kind of model state, model country. Everybody's pretty much attracted by the facilities, that they offer and opportunities and so forth. But then, why is this the case? Why so many people end up in a prison? Is that a sign of very healthy, happy civilization?
No.
No, of course not. So then how come? How come so many people end up behind the bars? And the firearm sales, just skyrocketing. And if you keep the trend, if you keep on checking up all these statistics, which I didn't just do recently anyway, it doesn't matter, but it keeps on rising. What is it? Why people buy firearms? Why do they buy firearms? Just now in Israel, there has been some statistics also that purchase of firearms have increased, but amongst not within the army, but civil population. Why people buy firearms? Huh? Anybody can get? For defending their lives. It's because of fear. It's not for going out for hunting or something. It's because of fear. Yeah. So then, why in U.S. It's so enormous? It's such a great sales. Then we have rape cases. India is also pretty bad. In Canada, there were almost 5 lakhs sexual assaults every year. Yeah. In many countries, most of the rape cases either go unreported or the victims are intimidated by the police to drop complaints. Yeah. 1 in 3 American women is sexually abused. 1 out of 3 Swedish women have been sexually assaulted. Yeah. You can see these are huge statistics. India also has a very nice percentage of such nonsense going on. Then we have, I go. Why so many dogs? When I came to India, there were not so many dogs. People didn't have so many dogs. That was in 3 centuries almost ago. Now everybody has a dog. So Prabhupada tells a story that there was one doctor in Allahabad when he was there, so that was almost 100 years back. He said that that's how syphilis developed, because the girls like to keep big dogs. He said that's the consequence, that's how this disease developed. So bestiality, you can marry a dog nowadays. And then of course there's a game the whole black family can play, that's incest. I was in 97, just before I came to India, I was in Denmark. And then it was the first time in a newspaper that there came an article. It said the father married his son. And we were like, whoa, what's going on? And legally, you could do that legally. That's the whole point, I mean, really, that's like, what's the difference between, animals are better. Not all. Pigs also, they don't discriminate. Mothers, father, even sister, daughter, whatever, doesn't matter. They'll jump on anything. So, what makes us so different? Are we advanced? That's what we call advancement? Are we better than animals? Is that what we call advancement? So you see, fever marriages. So nowadays people don't even marry practically, But there are more divorces, So global divorce rate is rising. It's huge, percentage-wise, just huge everywhere. It's increasing now. So therefore, people don't even marry nowadays. I know in the U.S. they have a contract. 1-year contract, 3-year contract, whatever. It's a contract. Then if you like, you can renew it. If you don't, haribo, that's it. then you form another contract. But why you need a contract? Because they don't trust each other. They know if you get married, like now, who is recently popular? Kevin Costner, has to pay for so much. Going through divorce. Then what was that? Before him, Johnny Deep in trouble. And everybody's in trouble like this, So how much they have to pay, millions and millions of dollars. Of course, the more popular, more money you have, the more you'll be squeezed out of it. So much suffering, So I can see here there's some countries. Luxembourg. Gee, it's such a small country, 87%. But who's married there? Nobody. Spain is huge. Spanish people are very passionate anyway, but it's, France about 55%, Russia, United States. Yeah, because in United States, that's why I said hardly anyone marries. Yeah. So then we see this is in India, like pretty heavy. So many divorce cases, and this is increasing more and more and more. Lucknow, Bangalore, Calcutta. It's all over. So then what happens when it's okay, just we are going through different statistics like this, but have anyone ever experienced such troubles in the family life, or know somebody who did? You know, when I was in what was it, maybe I was still in secondary school. I think I was still in secondary school, yeah. I think maybe 7th grade or 8th, something like this. And in our neighborhood there was one girl, her parents were always quarreling. There was always big mess in the house. And then she couldn't stand it anymore. So somehow she had some other friend who lived in one tall building. So he went there, she climbed on the building and jumped down. She committed suicide. It was the news of the society, of course. It was hellish. She couldn't tolerate seeing her parents fighting, screaming at each other, pulling, pushing, all kinds of nonsense going on. It's hell. So then who suffers the most is the children. But who cares about them? Who cares? Even if they're apparently yours or something, who cares nowadays? So is this a sign, another sign of a very happy, advanced civilization? No? Then what about stress, anxiety, pressure? Stop stressing, just do some yoga meditation and you'll be happy. It doesn't work like that. In the US, one of the 2 cardiac arrests are on the count of stress. An estimated 90 million American adults are living with major depression. And in India also, how much depression and pressure is there? Feeling the effects of prolonged financial and other recession-related difficulties, Americans are struggling to balance work and home life and make time to engage in healthy behaviors, with stress not only taking a toll on their personal physical health, but also affecting the emotional and physical well-being of their families. So it affects everyone. Suicide rates increasing anyway, everywhere. Every 13 minutes. This is huge. It's like an average half a lakh people a year. It's pretty heavy. India also has a very high suicide rate. Of course, not just students, everybody else. Every 19 minutes, a teenager tries to commit suicide in India. It's pretty heavy. Why? Why? Illicit drugs kill around 2 million people. No, it's 2 lakh people. Anyway. Alcohol kills 3.3 million and tobacco around 6 million people. 23 million Americans, now should be even more, are dependent on drugs. Why are you taking drugs? Why are we taking intoxications? To forget the troubles of life, mostly, right? Mostly. In the teenage time, of course, sometimes it may be, it's a new thing, just have some different experience, this and that. But later on, it's just to avoid the difficulties that one faces. So anyway, there are huge drug overdoses, all different kinds of drugs are there anyway. Heroin, cocaine, all kinds of narcotics. And we see the overdose deaths. That also increases. Even from prescription drugs. That's pretty heavy. Okay, then we have what else is going on. It's like, see how this fellow is absorbed. Completely became one with the machine. Cyborg. So the average American child spends 900 hours in school, but 1,000 and something hours in front of TV every year. Of course, nowadays internet, even schooling it's through internet, practically everything. You're in front of screen all the time, yeah, watching all kinds of stuff, creating different, so many impressions in your mind, so many impressions which will haunt you, which will force you to act in a way that you've perceived. Yeah. So by the age of 18, they have witnessed more than 2 lakh acts of violence and 16,000 murders, because that's what people think that's fun, you know, just seeing all kinds of horrible things going on. And then when you're exposed to that, what is the tendency, especially children? What's the tendency? You imitate, no? You imitate. Like I remember when I just came to India and I was in Tamil Nadu, and then I heard of one case, the one child jumped from the roof. Why? Because he was watching that Shaktiman. So whatever kids see, they tend to imitate. They'll do that. Of course, worst thing happened. How many shootings? Just again recently, there was another one in US just a few days back. I know how many people got shot. Someone just comes out, they have, horrible, sprayed around. So that's what's interesting. We said we're advancing. So they've done some statistical studies in the same school in US, and they compare those. So within a period of 50 years. So what do you think the difference was? You can see those two pictures. What would you say? What is the difference here? Can you please raise your hand? Raise your hand, and then I'll call upon you. Just give me some. Think about it. What do you think is the difference?
Lack of discipline.
What?
Lack of discipline.
Lack of discipline. Fine. What else?
Formal, quota, and informal.
Formal, informal. Everything. Okay. Yes.
Change of body.
Huh?
Change of body, like their body.
No, that's not that. That's a different batch.
That's a different batch.
Yes, please.
Black and white and color.
Huh?
Black and white.
Don't worry about that. That's a technology. Yes.
Change in behavior.
Change in behavior. Yes.
Lack of culture.
Lack of culture.
Maturity.
Maturity, whatever. What else? Yes.
First image is more happier than the second image.
Which is first, which is second?
Yeah, that's in black and white.
Which is first, which is second?
Yeah, 1956.
This one?
Yeah.
This is first. Okay, this is second. Okay, what else? Anything else? Huh? Yes?
Change of body language, sir.
Body language, that's okay. Yes?
Carefree lifestyle.
Huh?
Carefree lifestyle. The second image.
I didn't hear. What kind of
Carefree
Carefree
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Carefree, okay.
Generation gap.
What?
Generation gap.
Yeah, but what? Okay, but what does that tell us? Generation gap. As you can see, that it's a fact. These boys are all, they're smiling. They're not like, like frowning or, they're pretty happy up there. And these guys are faking. Pretty much faking it. They're posing and imposing. The photo will be taken. What you try to do, you try to draw attention to yourself. You'll do something different, no? That's what's going on. Why people are taking selfies nowadays? No? To look happy. They don't look happy. They just pretend to be happy. They pretend to be. And then, okay, I will have a memory and where I will be thinking myself, I was happy, but I know I wasn't happy, but I just made a selfie that apparently looks that I was happy at that moment because I'm forcing myself to smile and make some gesture or whatever it is, right? And that's it. But still you didn't tell me one major thing that is different here. One major thing. Yes.
Fakeness.
No. Huh?
All in one dress.
Yeah. That's okay. That's a minor detail. That's a minor detail. Amazing. So many of you are here. You didn't notice this one major difference. Yes.
Uniform.
What?
Uniform.
Don't worry about uniform, huh?
Discipline.
No. Yes.
Women and men are.
That's the point. There are no women there. There are no girls there. That's why they're happy. Yeah. It's a mixed class. It's a mixed class, and that's why here everybody's trying to impress each other. They're trying to impress each other. That's why they're doing all kinds of these things. No? And they're pretty loose. Anyway, I want to point out that girl is jumping on that boy behind and this and that. It's like kind of, they're pretty loose behavior. Loose behavior. So they did a survey also, but what were the problems in 1950s? What were the problems? Sometimes the teacher would enter the class and the etiquette was that, they would stood up as a sign of greeting, no? And if somebody wouldn't, you would be sent to principal. And that was a problem, And then, they're having chewing gum and they were sticking it, beneath a chair or table, or sometimes on top, somebody would sit, So then you would have to be disciplined and sent to principal. That was a problem. Or they were flying, all kinds of airplanes, paper stuff, going flying around. That was a problem. Or they would pull each other, These were the problems in 50s. These were the problems. And then what were the problems in 2000? Even before 2000, of course, but even worse nowadays. What were the problems? Drug addiction, rape cases, shootings, gang wars, or fights, abortions. Those were the problems. So can we see how the problems are increasing and becoming more and more acute? Compared to what was going in the 50s, that's like a kid's joke. That's nothing. That's nothing. So that's why we can see it's a big. It tells a lot. Even the pictures say a lot. So that's why we see that it's steadily increasing. It's violence. Violence is becoming more and more different kinds of riots, different kind of dissatisfactions, different kind of protests. Maybe you don't hear everything. I follow international news. I check different sources of the news, not just what you have been served here, in India. I check different sources. I don't take too much time, maybe 10-15 minutes maximum every few days or something. I just to inform myself what's going on. So violence is increasing. Then unemployment is increasing. Murder cases are increasing. Public unrest is increasing. Then corruption is increasing. Mental stress is increasing. Rape cases are increasing. Divorce is increasing. Drug addiction, wars are increasing. So many just recently also. Always some kind of threats. Terrorism is increasing. So all of that is steadily increasing. So are we really advancing in right direction? And then what do we get? Whoops. Is that the advancement? Just obliterate everything? Like Srila Prabhupada tells a very nice story. There was one mouse. And then he lived very nearby when there was one yogi in his cave. And mouse came to a yogi, and he was pleading, "My dear yogi, please, do something, help me. I'm troubled." And then yogi was like, okay, so what can I do for you? How you're troubled? And the mouse said, "The cat is chasing." So the yogi said, "Okay, what do you want?" So the mouse said, "Make me a cat." Okay, so the yogi said, "Tatashtu." Fine, be a cat. And then mouse was happy, he went as a cat. And then after some time, again mouse came back. Again troubled the yogi. Yogi said, "Okay, what is now?" He said, "Well, now I'm troubled again." He said, "What are you troubled with?" He said, "Now dogs are chasing." So now what do you want? "Well, I want to become a dog." And then the yogi said, "Okay, Tatastha, become a dog." So then the dog went, and then after some time, he came back, again troubled the yogi. So the yogi said, what is going on?" He said, "I'm troubled, but what are you troubled by now?" He said, no, tiger is chasing me. Just recently there was one video, it's interesting. I mean, on the house camera, it showed how a leopard caught the dog here. I mean, there's so many leopards coming. This, where is it? Kandivali, Borivali? Yeah. Has come and snatched the dog. I don't know why they like dogs, so it's funny. So now the mouse came, he said the tiger, so what do you want, make me a tiger. So then Yogi said, okay, that has to be a tiger. So the mouse became a tiger now. And then the tiger started licking his mouth. He said like, oh. And now Yogi said, so now what? You're gonna eat me? And the tiger said, yeah. And then the yogi said, okay, fine. Punar musiko bhava. Now become a mouse again. No? Become a mouse again. So that tiger became a mouse again. See, so that's what we are doing with our civilization. And we are advancing in technology, we are advancing in this. We think, I have become a god. You know, by God's mercy, we've been given so many facilities, we've been given so many resources, and we are exploiting all of this because we don't have proper consciousness, we don't have proper education, we don't have proper culture, we don't have proper anything. And then we think, I'm God now, and then what, you as a God, what can you do? What can you do? You can just destroy everything. And that's what the God says then, okay, punar musiko bhava. Then you become a mouse again. Yeah, so that's what everything leads toward. If we don't have proper, you know, human consciousness. Yeah. So are we really advancing in the right direction? That should be a question we should ask. Yeah. So what makes human beings superior to animal? So there is one verse in Mahabharata, it said, Ahara nidra bhayam maitunam cha samanyam etat pashubir naranam dharmo hitesham adiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubi samana. So dharmena hina, without dharma, what is it? You know, the activities of eating, sleeping, mating and defending are common in animals and human beings. But human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about God and perform the dharma of obeying His laws, loving, serving Him. Otherwise they're considered just like animals. So if there's no dharma and following of the dharma, there was a difference. Then there's no difference. Yeah. So animals can inquire about, and humans can inquire about eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing only, but humans can inquire also about life and death and beyond. Big difference. Big difference. Okay, so what is that inquiring beyond? So humans beings have higher intelligence to find out the cause of sufferings, to inquire about the purpose of life, to harmonize our life with God and nature. You know, can learn some of those things, and to attain eternal happiness. So then we can inquire and be promoted to higher life, and if we don't, we just become demoted to the lower forms like animals. So we have the choice. Human beings, it's a crossroad. So human beings can develop the reasoning power to ask the following questions. Why am I suffering? You know? Why am I suffering? Why am I forced to be undergoing all the different troubles in life? Like we said in the beginning, problems of life, so many problems of life. You know? So why am I suffering? So essentially there are many problems, but the real problem is the one which fulfills this criteria. It's common to all. You know? Nobody wants it, nobody can avoid it. Yeah. There are other minor problems. I mean, we can spend hours now discussing this problem, that problem, you know, so many things. But it's not that refers, but the real problems are that it's common to all. It's common to all, and nobody wants it. You know, like sometimes your problem can be or be happiness for someone else, no? Let's say you're sick, and the doctor is very happy. I went to dentist sometimes a little bit back, and they were happy. It's another customer is coming. No, my God, they charge 2,000 for one filling. Can you imagine this? What a rip-off, you know, complete cheating practically. And they were happy. Yeah. They can charge so much. So it was my problem, but it was his happiness. Yeah. And then they don't do it properly. And the second time I came, Yeah, then he didn't charge me for one because he didn't make it properly. I said, what is it? It just fell off after 2 months or something. Yeah. So for someone's problem, somebody's happiness actually. But these problems fall in this category. So if we can identify the 4 real problems of life that fulfill the above 3 criteria. Anyway, we'll just point out we don't have so much time. What do you think this is? Huh? What does that lead to? What does that mean? Huh? Aging, yes. There is so many. There's one video of some Bollywood stars. Anyway, we won't show now. Some very famous actresses. Yeah. What happens to them after 1 or 2 decades? I have to wait too long. Aren't in trouble by the old age. So they want to remain young forever. But very soon we start growing on and our bodies become weak and frail. Yeah. And we no longer look beautiful. Time is very powerful. Yeah, nobody wants to get old. Cosmetic industry is flourishing during the fear of old age. Now what's the first, when you go to any store department, what's the first thing that you find in the ground floor? What's the first thing you enter into practice?
Cosmetics.
It's cosmetics. Pretending we are not getting old. Yeah. The major thing. Yeah. You can't stop aging anymore. You see, people capture sweet memories. Of course nowadays it's all selfies, as they said. So they can at least see and be satisfied in the old age, but our body grows from childhood to boyhood to youth, old age, eventually bringing death to living on the bones. Even that doesn't last. So time is very powerful. So they want to remain healthy. That's another thing also. But much against our wish, we encounter various diseases. Still today, and actually forever there's going to be diseases for which there is no cure. And you can number, that's quite a number of them. So birth, old age, disease, and death. These are real problems of life. We said there are so many, but these are real problems of life. Yeah. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha nidarshana. Also, if you analyze our lives, I'll just come back actually, 1 second. Let's come back. This is something that Lord Buddha, Siddhartha, is something that he was always fenced against this. He was always, kind of he was protected not to witness any of those, right? And then everybody knows the story, once he ventured out of the palace, from that protected area where everything was kind of kept perfect and wonderful and whatever else. Then he saw reality. He said, what is this? What is this? That's how he had a major enlightenment. So that's what we see in the Western world pretty much. Something happens, accident, few minutes, everything's cleaned. Like nothing happened, Or somebody is sick, okay, hospitals are full, but not on the street. You don't find anything on the street. Or pretty much people pretend everything is great, nice, fine. So we keep in such a bubble of illusion. We create those bubbles. It's amazing. It's amazing. We just don't see what it is. Birth. Nobody sees birth is such a suffering. Nobody would ever seen the birth. Such a suffering. We never think about it. We have little experience of disease. We just go spend some time in hospital. How people suffer, my God. How much suffering that is. We suffer and then we forget. That's another amazing thing. Old age, wow. You can't, until you experience really, you can't understand so much. And of course, that once you experience this, then that's another. So, if we analyze our lives, we are constantly tormented with adhyatmika klesha. These are miseries due to body and mind. Yeah? We said already, stress, anxiety, so many things, suicides. Yeah? That's adhyatmika klesha. And then Adbhuta, misery is due to other living entities. What is that? All different kinds of threats and other living beings, all kinds of things happening. On the gross or the subtle level. Yeah. It can be verbal, it can be physical, it can be in any way. And then the last one, it's due to natural disasters, of course, earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, all kinds of things, droughts, so many things going on. Somehow India is still having some punya, some karma. You do experience, there's some earthquake, no? As in Gujarat, there was in some time back, even earlier there was in Latur, there was then in Orissa something that's tsunami, I think it was 2004, 6, when was that, that big one, happened down in Tamil Nadu, whatever, something is always happening, but we keep on forgetting, we don't think, what is this, it was a long time back, well, any moment anything may happen again. Yeah. So although we are advanced in medical science, where's this medical fellow? It's hiding. Listen to this. And we have latest technology in our disposal. Yeah. Still our plans of good health and happiness are thwarted with newer and newer diseases. Yeah. Phew. Okay. He was saying I'm the greatest. At some point, he got knocked out twice afterwards. He suffered from Parkinson's disease. Couldn't even lift a cup of coffee. Yeah? Heavy, because now he left the body. He met some devotees, I think. Yeah? Got Bhagavad Gita. That's what to do. Why do even such great personalities suffer from problems? Everybody's suffering from problems. Yeah, all kinds of accidents, disasters. Can scientific advancement help us put a full stop to all suffering? One scientist said, now man can fly like a bird in the sky. Okay, and swim like a fish underwater in a submarine. The only problem is he can't walk on land like a human being because of pollution. Sure. That's a modern temple. That's a modern temple. See, it has sea cars, so many sea cars. Yeah. It's that's Kali Yuga Mandir. Kali Yuga.